guys, welcome back to my channel. This is episode, or part 8 actually, of my JonBenet deep dive. And this is going to be my final reading for this deep dive. And I just want to focus on JonBenet. So this is actually a mediumship reading. I'm using my beloved, well, it's called the Beloved Dead deck. It's a beautiful deck. It's an oracle deck. And it's got things like archetypes. It has sections called Active Love. And this is the BU one. Snake. Visitation, survive, remember, tribe, etc. So I'm going to be using this one, and it does come with a guidebook. I typically actually read these intuitively, and I am going to do that, but I am also going to read from the guidebook as well, just in case there's something in it that that can add to the overall message. Next, I'm going to be pulling from Talking to Heaven deck by James Van Praagh, and also reading these intuitively, but also reading from the guidebook as well. And then tarot. So that is the structure. And just gonna go with rows of 4 cards. Everything, well, again, everything, and this is my opinion based on the energy that I'm picking up. What I hear, because my gift is multifaceted. I see things, I feel things, I hear things. Yeah. So, yeah, but I just want to say that, you know, it's an energy reading. It's a mediumship reading. So, I like really don't know what to say. Like, I believe that it's real. But still, at the end of the day, it's me interpreting the cards. So I just have to say that it's my opinion based on the energy of the cards. All right. So now that I said that, let's get started. I'm just going to say my attunement prayer in my head. His vibrational frequency responsible. I'm forever grateful for the gift of intuition that has been bestowed on me. Okay, thank you. I usually do it before, but I didn't this time. Okay. Okay, I am calling out to the spirit, soul of JonBenet Ramsey. What do you have? What would you like to say? What is your message for the world? For all of the people that have been so invested in your case, all of that. What do you have to say? And what do you also have to say about your parents being accused of having something to do with your untimely demise? Okay. This is enthusiastic energy. This is ignited passion, the Ace of Wands. So she has something to say. Ace of Swords, this is the Sword of Truth. This card is about mental clarity and about truth. More specifically, about a breakthrough and new insights. Interesting. Collaboration, teamwork, pooling of energy. The Star, this is hopeful energy. This is a renewal. This is positivity, inner clarity, healing, and faith. So for this row, it's telling me that she has a lot to say, and she has a lot to say about what really happened, the truth of the matter. And pooling of energy. This is immediately making me think that there is a cold case foundation group. Basically, they have new detectives on the case, and they're going right back to square one. And she is behind them, pooling her energy in spirit form with theirs. She is actively helping from the other side to get justice. And the Star card is also indicative of miracles. So I feel like because she is pooling her energy with forces here on Earth, a breakthrough, the truth will happen from that. It's hard to say when, but that's what this is telling me. Wow. Okay, JonBenet, how do you feel about your parents being blamed? I know they've been exonerated for a while now, but there's still a lot of people that don't agree with it. What's the truth, JonBenet? So we've got the Three of Cups in reverse. This is the third party situation. This is gossip. Gossip. As in gossip. It's just gossip that they are accused of being involved. Like as in it's not true. Let's see what else it says. Revelations. This is the Tower card. And it's underneath the Ace of Swords. And this is the Breakthrough and Truth card. So when a card is underneath another card, that is usually the underlying energy. And the Tower card is also indicative of like a radical shift, a destruction of old foundations. So I asked, how do you feel about your parents being, people blaming your parents for their believing that they're involved in your Three of Cups in reverse is like no support, third party situation, being forced to conform. And independence. Honestly, oh my God. And then destruction of old foundations. So like destroying the idea that they were involved. Holy. Okay. So let's keep going with the rest of the row and we'll see what else it says. Okay. The final push, this is being close to success. The Nine of Wands. As in, we need to make a radical shift from the idea that it was them responsible. Now, I know they physically didn't do it. So that'll be my next question for her. Okay, let me just get the rest of this row. Oh my God. Ten of Cups, harmony, family, love. This is domestic joy. This is the happy family card. Okay, they didn't do it. But did they have... My theory was that they helped facilitate this. As in, they knew the person, they let them in, and they were aware of what they were going to do. So, JonBenet, am I completely wrong? Was I, like, misreading? Okay, we got the Three of Swords. Oh. This is emotional turmoil, emotional pain, emotional loss, depression, trauma. Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. Again, my question was, did they facilitate this happening? Meaning, did they actively let the person in, know exactly who was at their door, knew why they were there, and let them in to do that to her? And I got the Three of Swords upright, which is hurt, trauma, emotional loss. And then I got the Seven of Swords in reverse, and this is being caught out. This is regret and yeah, like being called out on doing something wrong. And then that, you know, it eating you up inside over the years. And this is all under the Sword of Truth, the Tower. Okay, let's keep going. Oh. Queen of Wands in reverse. Demanding. Vengeful. Oh my gosh, vengeful. If you haven't watched the archetype ones, this was part 8, episodes 1 and 2. I would watch that because I was picking up on the fact that he knows John through his work. And this is a type of person that is very, you cross him, it's like he'll want to take revenge forever. This is a person who flips a switch really, really quick. Like, they portray themselves as one thing, very nice, very helpful, very calm, cool, collected. But behind closed doors, they'll change on a dime. Yeah, and they're very charming on the outside. This is the Knight of Cups, upright. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles also came up with the Knight of Cups card. And this is telling me that yeah, this guy on the outside is very, like, well put together, wealthy, successful business guy, very charming. But yeah, he's a liar and he changed. It's just a facade. Okay. All right, JonBenet, what else do you have to say? What else do you have to say? Death. She is starting to transition. Yes, she's passed, obviously, we know that, but she's starting to actually go to the light. She sees that, and the Nine of Wands said this, that they're close to success. She has been helping behind the scenes, right? And she's saying that it's close to being successful. And so she's starting to move on. She's starting to transition to the light. She's, you know, think of, as soon as you pass, there's like a waiting room. And that waiting room isn't heaven. It's not the afterlife. It is the in-between stages. In this stage, you are very still connected to Earth and the memories of Earth and your goals and all of that. Your family. A lot of people who have passed suddenly and young, you know, sometimes tend to get stuck there because, you know, They weren't supposed to go at that time. That wasn't natural. And so this card is telling me that she was sticking around. She was sticking around. She wanted to meet her mom. At the end, when her mom passed, she wanted to be there and yeah, she wanted to stay close to the case. She wanted to stay close to Earth so she could get some justice for her family. Not really for her so much because she's already gone, but she saw how much it ate up her family, especially, I guess, her family being accused. See, her family could still be guilty of, like I said earlier, allowing the person in or what have you. Now, when you pass, you see things from a much higher perspective. And I don't think JonBenet harbored any hatred once she passed over to her parents. It was more or less trying to transmute and heal all of that negative, awful energy that was around that house. When you pass over, there's no such thing as revenge or hatred. You're above that. Hatred and that kind of thing is very low energy. It's very much earthly energy or very demonic energy. It's not the energy of the human soul. That's not... So I'm not surprised at all that she wanted to help her family through this, even though potentially they played a hand in her abuse. I just wanted to explain that because I know it, from our standpoint here on Earth, it's like, why would, anyway. Let's keep going. All right, JonBenet, what else do you want to say about this row? Time to move on. Yeah. So she was sticking around to guard her situation. The Four of Pentacles is like possessive energy, but it's also like monitoring and standing guard, watching stuff that you hold dear. And she's moving away from that now. Yeah. The Devil. She's moving away from that toxic energy. That, the energy that, resulted in her demise, and also the attachments to Earth. And this is really telling me that, like, perhaps they're on the right track, and maybe in the next few years, we will actually hear some kind of a conclusion. That would be amazing. Talk about the mystery of the century. Okay, JonBenet, any advice to your dad? Anything that you want to tell him? The Hierophant in reverse, and this is about belief systems, personal belief systems, and challenging authority and conventional belief systems. So, I don't know. I don't know what his belief systems in the afterlife were before this, but maybe that's changing for him. I don't know. Yeah, so he's got a new horizon. There's some sort of, breakthrough, like with that Ace of Swords card. And it's allowing people to look at this case with a newfound ray of hope. And then the Hierophant in reverse is also indicative of new methods. And that's making me think of new scientific methods. Outpouring of emotions. This is a love card. This is a love card. New beginnings. An emotional awakening. Triggering a new beginning, which is the Fool. The emotional awakening being the Ace of Cups. So we have a lot of aces in this reading. We've got 3. It's almost all of them. So this is telling me that she's very much ready for her new journey, as in moving towards the light, going through her life review, healing from her trauma from this life, and then planning her new life with the lessons that she's taken from this life. This is also a reading that is symbolic of the new beginnings with the case. Some sort of new information is unfolding. And yeah, with the Fool card being the beginning of the journey, and the 3 aces that we have in this deck, as well as the Death card being a new cycle. This is very symbolic of, new beginnings in her journey, new beginnings with the case, and a newfound hope that I'm feeling like her dad has. And she's really just wanting him to know that you're so close. We're so close to success. And she's a free spirit. She's her real self. What do you have to say, JonBenet, to the perpetrator? What's your message to him? All right, so this is the Page of Swords. This is a message, a truthful message from her. And it's also a card for vigilancy and relentlessness. And that's telling me she's telling him to be vigilant. Or you can try to be vigilant all you want, but we're relentless. the truth will out. The truth will out. And yeah. Faithful messenger. This is another page. And this is like goal-oriented energy. As in, you were our goal for over, 30 years. We've had our eyes set on you. Even when they didn't even know exactly who it was, but, they were hell-bent on finding this person. And 2 messenger cards? I mean, she's delivering a gift for us, for her family, for everybody that has been following this case and wants to see closure. Sleepless nights. She's delivering these sleepless nights to him. King of Swords. Truth. So right on the card. Truth. This is the discipline and the intellectual power that so many people have dedicated to this case. And none of it has been wasted. This 3 of Pentacles that we saw, the pooling of energy, that was symbolizing the detective's pooling of energy, her family's pooling of energy, her pooling of energy on the other side. Okay, JonBenet. Oh. Painful endings. That is what she is saying awaits this person who has so many sleepless nights. Okay, JonBenet, 3 cards from this deck. I send you signs through nature. Well, I send you loving signs through nature. I think that's towards her dad and her brother. Tears cleanse the soul. Cry. She's encouraging she's encouraging the release of emotions to the family members and friends that have not done that yet. She's saying that it's absolutely important to release that energy so it doesn't eat you up inside. Because she's released it. It's time for them to. Yeah. I have no earthly worries anymore. And that's because they're so close to catching this guy. It's almost like she's done all she can and now it just has to play out. She's done everything she can from the other side. And now she just has to sit back and watch it unfold. And that's why we're getting all of the new beginning cards. Because she is ready to see the end of this life and go on to her next journey. And so this is an indicative card of, I have no more earthly worries. I'm no longer in the waiting room. I'm going where I should have gone a long time ago. Well, I say that, but really it all happened the way in the time it was supposed to happen. Divine timing, really. But down here, it's like way too long. So it's all about perspective, really. Okay, JonBenet, I would like 3 cards from the Beloved Dead deck. Peace. She's in peace. And Teacher. This is telling me that her soul contract, her mission on this earth was to teach people. And she did it she's in what happened to her has taught people so many valuable lessons that honestly we can't even wrap our brain around until we pass over, because they're so profound. A lot of them we can unravel here and should, and I hope her family has. But she's also like, she touched so many lives all around the world with this case. And she's taught people the importance of letting children just be children. And even when you have it all on the surface, even when you have all the money in the world and you live in one of the most safest countries that isn't torn by war, all of that stuff, food in their belly, access to education, doesn't mean that your life is going to be perfect, and it does not mean that there is no hardship. And so really what she's saying is looks, outward beauty, and wealth mean nothing. The important things are within, and the love that we can give each other every day. Okay, so I'm going to read from the guidebook for Teacher. There have been many employees of educational systems who have stood before you, mechanically and dogmatically, committing a syllabus onto a blackboard. Some are well-intentioned, hapless, or tedious. Others are disagreeable, unfit, and unkind. And oh, how diligently they work to either glaze over your eyeballs with ennui or create stress fractures in your confidence and self-worth. Feelings that will still reverberate into your adult life. And then there's the teacher, that brilliant soul who got through and set you on your way. When validating a loved one or individual, this card is an academic at heart. Someone who either taught professionally or was font of knowledge. Someone with all the answers and that helped others immensely. This is also the card of the student still in school, college, or university, or involved in a course of study. When the student is ready, the teacher will come. If you receive this card, the beloved dead of Teacher could be heralding the arrival of a mentor who will change your life in many favorable ways. Teaching may also be encouraging you to graduate, finally. Telling you that it's time to step out of your mindset of student and take on the rightful mantle of teacher. The roles of teacher and student are intrinsically linked. As the greatest teachers are always lifelong students, The beloved dead of teacher reminds us that the minute we think we know it all, that's when there's a ceiling on our potential. So immediately when I came onto the sentence, teacher may also be encouraging you to graduate, finally. That's also confirmation that she's ready to move on to the next journey. And she's going through her soul review, her life review, and then all of the necessary healing that is involved once we finish this life. And that is really making me feel like there's going to be a conclusion soon. And I'm thinking maybe in the next 10 years. I'm putting a little larger cap on it. But that is my prediction. In the next 10 years, we will know exactly who the perpetrator is through DNA. Okay. Well, peace is telling me that she's at peace. And we'll get one more card from the beloved dead. Communication. How many messenger cards did we get? We got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Swords. I'm just trying to see if there's any others. No, we didn't get any others, but still, 2 in a row. She's here communicating. Communication. So here you are, minding your own business when someone says or does something, and now you must answer, or vice versa. Whether it's trivial, breaking news, a statement, or a question, you quickly process this data. You synthesize the choice of words, tone, and unspoken body language and facial expressions. Different people trigger different responses. Some people automatically bring out the best in you, inspiring reason, trust, confidence, agreement. Others conjure the worst, provoking worthlessness, defiance, pig-headedness, suspicion, sycophancy, combustion. Why is this? Some stimuli can regress you back to a time in your past that makes you feel, think, and act like a feral kid. Then you speak, and how did that work for you? When communication appears, it wants to explore how you're relating to others in your life. According to Dr. Eric Berne, father of the theory of transactional analysis, there are 3 key ego states: parent, adult, and child. And you routinely shift between them. In a nutshell, the parent ego state is one of 2 voices. I'm the boss of you is learned from the adults around us who always say they know better. Orders and prohibitions punctuate this controlling voice. This voice says, do, don't, never, always. Or this parent is the voice of nurture, enabler, protector, modeled by a caregiver with an open heart, and sometimes no boundaries. The child ego also has at least 2 voices. One that's adaptive, compliant, obedient, disciplined, apologetic, pleasing, and needy. Or one that's spontaneous, wild, creative, defiant, fiery, and in your own face. This Pee Wee Herman ego state likes to whine, whinge, snort, giggle, and throw tantrums. The Addo ego is rational, reasonable, non-threatened, and non-threatening voice, and is firmly rooted in the here and now. It asks questions that engage. It begins a conversation with, in my most humble and not wildly me-based opinion, or I appreciate, is this healthiest, maturest voice. It gets the parent ego state off their perch and talks to the child ego state off the ledge. Not only does it generate the most successful interactions, but it can also, by example, teach the reactive parent and child to behave. Our beloved dead of communication knows this will take work, but relationships can improve by developing an awareness of your own role in the transaction. Be mindful of your intent, which affects your words and tone. And keep looking for the mature response. It's the pattern breaker. Whew, okay. Yeah. She is definitely in a state of seeing things from a higher perspective. And this goes back to what I said earlier about her not, even if her parents did not physically murder her, which we know there is an unknown male DNA sample that is not related back to any male in the Ramsey family or Patsy's family. So clearly it's not them that actually perpetrated this disgusting act on her, but it kind of shows that maybe, not the DNA, but in my readings, it kind of pointed towards that they were a facilitator in the process. She is no longer, in this state, she never has harbored any hatred towards them, and still wants to see them heal, and still has love for them. And that's what this communication card is saying, is she is beyond a state of human emotions and is seeing it from a much higher perspective. She just wants to see healing come of this horrible situation. All right, so I'm not gonna read the guidebook for the Talking to Heaven cards because I really feel like they're self-explanatory enough. And that this reading really followed a beautiful trend in its message. So I'm going to leave it there. And, let's just take a couple seconds for JonBenet's spirit and wish her all of the best going forward in her new journey and her new life. And maybe in the next life, we'll meet her there. All right, that's it for this series. Stay tuned for my next deep dive. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I've got a few cases on my list. And I'm probably going to be back at that series next week. So stay tuned for the next series. Oh, if you guys enjoyed this series and didn't hate it, I would really appreciate if you gave me a like and a subscribe, because that just helps me grow my channel. And if you like my content and want to see more of it, yeah, consider subscribing. Thank you. See you next time.